chapter 6, where we will be learning about division. What is division? Well, first we're going to relate division to two different operations. First up is subtraction. Relate division to subtraction. Cameron is making cookies. Nice. And he has 12 cups of flour. If each batch of cookies requires 3 cups of flour, how many batches of cookies can Cameron make? Find 12 divided by 3. You can use repeated subtraction. Say 12 minus 3 equals to 9. That's 1 time. 9 minus 3 equals to 6. That's 2 times. 6 minus 3 equals to 3. That's 3 times. And 3 minus 3 is 0. That's 4 times. So 12 divided by 3 is, well, 4. Now let's do some practice problems. Divide. Use repeated subtraction. So here, and remember, write how many times you need to subtract. That's the quotient. The quotient is basically what comes out of a division operation. Now, 63 minus 7 equals to 56. 56 minus 7 equals to 49. 49 minus 7. This is going to take a while, so I'm going to skip over this. Well, that's 9 times. We move on to the next one. 16 minus 4 equals to 12. 12 minus 4 equals to 8. 8 minus 4 equals to 4. And 4 minus 4 equals to 0. That's 4 times. So 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. I actually don't really like using this way, but hey, it's important for you to know that this is one part of division. If this seems slightly familiar to you, because guess what, guys? Multiplication is repeated addition. Division is repeated subtraction. They're opposite operations. Just like addition and subtraction. 45 divided by 5. This is also going to take a while. Excuse me. Yeah, we got 9 times. Therefore, 45 divided by 5 is 9. We do it a few more times and we get 10 divided by 5. 10 minus 5 is 5. 5 minus 5 is 0. That's twice. 9 divided by 3, 9 minus 3, 6, 6 minus 3, 3, 3 minus 3, 0, 3 times. 72 divided by 9, this is going to take a while, guys. Yeah. Well, here you go. 8 times. Now 28 divided by 4. Oh, Lord. This is going to take a while. Again. There you go. 7 times. 36 divided by 6. 6 times. We move on to the quicker way, relating division and multiplication. Now we have 3 groups, 2 in each group, 6 in all. 3 times 2 equals to 6. There's 6 in all, there's 3 groups, there's 2 in each group. 6 divided by 3 equals to 2. Now let's do some practice. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 groups. there's 8 in each group. And you get 9 times 8 equals to 72. For those of you that have remembered your multiplication tables. If you haven't, then please, hurry, remember your multiplication tables. 72 in all. So that's 72 divided by 9 equals to 8. Here we have 3 groups. 5 in each group. And 3 times 5 is equal to 15. I expect you guys to at least have remembered until the 5s. 15 in all. 15 divided by 3 equals to 5. We continue and we move on to, there's 7 groups and there's 3 in each group, which is 21. And 21 divided by 7 equals to 3. Here there's 4 in each group and 4 groups. 16. 4 times 4 is equal to 16. 16 divided by 4 is equal to 4. Essentially, here's the relationship. A times B equals to C. C divided by B equals to A. C divided by A equals to B. This works for all numbers that you can possibly put in something like this. Of course, unless it's imaginary numbers, but then again, imaginary numbers, you guys haven't really gotten there, so yeah. Remember this. Problem-solving strategy, choose an operation. Okay, Andrew's class has 18 pounds of clay to help students make models for their stop motion project. For those of you who don't know what stop motion is, it's basically a series of pictures where everything just, well, no, not everything. The thing that's supposed to move moves a little bit each picture, and then you put them together and it looks like the person is moving. There are 6 groups of students. Each group gets the same amount of clay. How much clay does each group get? Well, what do we know? We know the total amount of clay there is. And we also know how many groups there are. What do we need to find? How much clay does each group get? We also know that each group gets the same amount of clay, which is kind of important. So the operation is, for this, division. That'd be 18 divided by 6 is equal to 3. Because 6 times 3 equals to 18. So each group will get 3 pounds of clay. Each group gets 3 pounds of clay. We did a similar project to this in grade 6. That was, I think it was grade 6. It was a very entertaining project. Let's just leave it there. It was fun. It was also kind of scary because it went down the drain. It went downhill at parts. Let's just leave it there. Check our answer. Last time I checked, 6 times 3 was in fact equal to 18. We reread. Andrew's class has 18 pounds of clay. That's right. And there are 6 groups. Okay, that's correct. Each group gets the same amount of clay. That's correct. The question, we have answered the question. We have answered the question, how much clay does each group get? Each group gets 3 pounds of clay. Therefore, our answer is correct. It's reasonable and it fits with everything in the problem. So we're going to do some practice problems. Solve. Tell which operation you chose. A group of 4 make a model of a jungle. They spend $32 on supplies and split the cost equally. How much does each friend spend? Of course, guys, try not to use division. Well, usually you wouldn't use division if they don't say it's equally. Or at least you use division in different ways. Now it's 4 people and a total of $32. So if they split it equally, then it'd be 32 divided by 4, which is, well, 4 times 8 equals to 32. So 32 divided by 4 is 8. Each friend spends $8. If there are 8 spots left for a camping trip and 12 people want to go, how many people will not get a spot on the trip? Oh yes, we should mention the operation we used, division. For this one, it'd be subtraction. Because amount of people that want to go minus spots left is the amount of people that can't go. So 12 minus 8 is 4. 4 people will not get a spot. Done. We're going to go back to division. Divide by 2. So here's all the multiplication facts that we're going to need. Divide. Write a related multiplication fact. 18 divided by 2. 2 times 9 equals to 18. Therefore, 18 divided by 2 is 9. 10 divided by 2. 2 times 5 equals to 10. Therefore, 10 divided by 2 is 5. Therefore, it's like, which means 8 divided by 2 equals to 2 times 4 equals to 8. 8 divided by 2 equals to 4. 2 times 6 equals to 12. 12 divided by 2 equals to 6. 4 divided by 2. 2 times 2 equals to 4. So 4 divided by 2 would be 2. 14 divided by 2. 2 times 7 equals to 14. So 14 divided by 2 equals to 7. 6 divided by 2. 2 times 3 equals to 6. 6 divided by 2 equals to 3. Last but not least, 16 divided by 2, 2 times 8 equals to 16. So 16 divided by 2 is equal to 8. We move on to division with 5. These are the related facts. 35 divided by 5, well, 5 times 7 equals to 35. So 35 divided by 5 is 7. 5 divided by 5, 5 times 1 equals to 5. So 5 divided by 5 is 1. 10 divided by 5. 5 times 2 equals to 10. 10 divided by 5 equals to 2. 30 divided by 5. 5 times 6 equals to 30. 30 divided by 5 equals to 6. 15 divided by 5. 5 times 3 equals to 15. So 15 divided by 5 equals to 3. 45 divided by 5. 5 times 9 equals to 45. So 45 divided by 5 equals to 9. 25 divided by 5. 5 times 5 equals to 25. So 25 divided by 5 is equal to 5. 40 divided by 5. 5 times 8 equals to 40. So 40 divided by 5 is equal to 8. 20 divided by 5. 5 times 4 is equal to 20. So 20 divided by 5 is 4. 0 divided by 5. 5 times 0 equals to 0. So 0 divided by 5 equals to 0. Well, that's it for 5. Now we're going to go back to some problem solving. Choose a strategy. A worker is mixing together nuts for trail mix. Trail mix is actually pretty good, unless you're allergic to some of the ingredients. Then that's not good. There are 6 pounds of almonds, okay, that's a lot of almonds, 1 pound of raisins, 3 pounds of peanuts, and 1 pound of candy-covered chocolates. If the trail mix is sold in 2-pound bags, how many bags would the worker have mixed? So we know the amount, well, the weight, of each ingredient that is mixed into the trail mix. And we know that the trail mix is divided in 2-pound bags. What do we need to find out? How many bags there are. What is our plan? I personally, math. So first, what do? We found out the total weight. That's 6 plus 1 plus 3 plus 1, which is 11 pounds. Oh no. So if the trail mix is sold in 2-pound bags, how many bags would the worker have mixed? Well, 11 divided by 2 doesn't really work. But 10 divided by 2 is equal to 5. 5 bags. Because then there's 1 pound left over, which is half a bag. So you could say he mixed 5.5 bags. Or you could say he mixed 5 full bags. To check, we look back at the problem. We see if our calculations are, well, messed up. And, well, that's about it. A worker is mixing together nuts for trail mix. There are 6 pounds of almonds, 1 pound of raisins, 3 pounds of peanuts, and 1 pound of candy-covered chocolates. If the trail mix is sold in 2-pound bags, how many bags would the worker have mixed? Well, that's 6 pounds, 1 pound, 3 pounds, 1 pound. Okay. 6 plus 1 is 7, 7 plus 3 is 10, 10 plus 1 is 11, that's right. And 10 divided by 2 is 5, 2 times 5 is 10, that's right. So it is 5 full bags because 11 minus 10 is 1, and 1 pound is not a full bag. A full bag is 2 pounds. So, we are correct. Now moving on to the next section, divide by 10. Now remember what I said about multiplying by 10? You add a 0. Well, in division, you take off the 0. So if it's 10 divided by 10, then you get 10, and you take off the 0, and that's 1. If it's 60 divided by 10, you get 60, you take off the 0, and it's 6. If it's 40 divided by 10, you take off the 0, and it's 4. If it's 20 divided by 10, you take 20, you take off the 0, and it's 2. If it's 80 divided by 10, you take off 1 0, you get 8. If it's 30 divided by 10, you get 30, you take off 1 0, it's 3. 50 divided by 10, 50, take off 1 0, 5. 70 divided by 10, well, 70, take off 1 0, 7. 0 divided by 10, well, last time I checked, 10 times 0 equals to 0. 0. Oh yes, this also applies to things such as 800. Say 800 divided by 10. You take 800, and you take off 1 0, and that's 80. Yay! Moving on. Last section of the chapter, guys. Not time to slack off yet. Division properties. So if you divide any number except 0 by itself, the quotient is 1. Say 5 divided by 5 is equal to 1. Think of it as 5 squarish, well, 3 squarish things. If you divide this into 3, then it'd just be, well, 3 groups of 1. Just like how anything times 1 equals to that thing itself. When you divide any number by 1, the quotient is the original number. This is like the identity property, except, well, addition. 5 divided by 1 equals to 5. 10 divided by 1 equals to 10. 8 divided by 1 equals to 8. Now we're going to have the 3 rectangle square thingies again. And if you just divide it into one big group, well, you get the idea. The total number of things will all be in that one big group, so the quotient will end up being the original number. When you divide 0 by any number except the 0, the quotient is 0. So 0 divided by 4 is a 0. It's like having a box of 0 donuts and sharing it with your friends. Nobody's gonna get anything. I just realized I've used donuts a lot anyhow. So yeah. These are the 3 big rules. Now you may be wondering, what about something divided by 0? Yeah, you don't learn that. That is not done. Well, you don't learn that until higher grades, but that is not done. Okay? Let's do some practice. 9 divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 is that thing itself. So 9 divided by 1 is 9. 0 divided by 2. 0 divided by anything is equal to 0. Well, anything except a 0. 5 divided by 5. Anything divided by itself is equal to 1. 0 divided by 1. 1 is not, well, 0. It's a non-zero number. So, it still follows the properties. 0 divided by 1 would equal to 0. 2 divided by 2. Anything divided by itself is 1. 7 divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. So, 7. 8 divided by 8. Anything divided by itself is 1. 3 divided by 1. Anything divided by 1 is itself. 0 divided by 4. 0 divided by any non-zero number is 0. That's it for chapter 6, guys. I hope you absorbed the information. Remember your multiplication table if you haven't done so yet. And, well, I guess I'll see you next chapter.